You know from Alpha Dog, when you watch politicians, can Jeb get it done?
It's a really good question. I'm not sure that in that race for Alpha Dog that anything has changed between Jeb Bush and Donald Trump after last night, but I would say that Jeb Bush had a much better night last night than he had in Cleveland a month ago. When he was trying to go toe-to-toe with Trump, he didn't make much ground and make much headway. But later on in the debate, he had a couple of good, solid, humanizing moments and a couple of moments where he came across as even a little bit natural and funny, which is not much of what Jeb Bush has been doing lately. So it was a better night for him than last August, but I'm not sure it's going to change the dynamic of the race that much.
The subject of the second debate really was Donald Trump. The questions were all about Donald Trump. How has he changed the Republican Party?
Well, I don't know how he's changed the Republican Party. He certainly has totally transformed the nature of this race. You know, last night was a perfect microcosm and crystallization of what this race has been like ever since Donald Trump got in, which is to say he has blotted out the sun for everybody else. You had a lot of candidates, 10 other ones up on that stage. I would say 9 of those 10 had a hard time breaking through, even as the CNN moderators and the structure of the debate were designed to allow them to try to take Trump down. Most of them were unable to really to break through. The exception was Carly Fiorina, who I think really was the star of the show last night. She had the highest expectations, she had the biggest opportunity, and she also had the biggest single moment of the debate, and it's the one that got the most attention on social media. It's the one that's getting the most coverage in broadcast media, and that's the one where she took on Trump over the comment that he made about her face in Rolling Stone just about a week ago.
Yeah, it does seem like everybody's trying to figure out a way to deal with Donald Trump. She's the only one who's come up with an actual method to do it. We were struck this morning in our own story meeting. We were talking about Marco Rubio. Every time he talked, things seemed to make sense. He really worked through policy well. John Kasich, the same. And yet those guys didn't get that much time to talk. The next time these Republicans meet, who's not going to be on that stage?
Well, we don't know what the rules of the next debate are, so it's a little hard to know. And you know, the sponsoring organizations have a lot of leeway in terms of deciding how many to let on and under what the criteria are. So without knowing those things, it's kind of impossible to predict. If you think about who's right now in the very bottom of the top 10, you're talking about people like Rand Paul and Chris Christie, right, and Scott Walker increasingly, who's been in a bit of a nosedive. So any of those people could slip off, or depending on what the next debate sponsors decide to do, they could end up still having another debate with 11 people on stage.
John, what you do best is look forward. Tell me about the game change of 2016, February 20, Nevada, the 23rd, the 27th. When does an adult debate show up? Do you and Mark have in your head when, like, this finally becomes something I'm interested in?
Tom, that is like trying to contemplate a mystery of the cosmos. I have no idea. You know, I'm not even sure how to begin to approach that question. I think there's no reason right now to think that there's the main reasons that this race will change is when candidates drop out, and the main reason that candidates drop out is because they run out of money. Because of the fact of the way that super PACs work now, a lot of candidates who aren't polling very well still have millions and millions of dollars in super PACs. There's no reason for those guys to get out until the money runs out. So you could see a big, complicated field well into the nomination contest in January, February, March.
Brendan, I can't say how important that observation is from John Heilemann.
Well, John, let's make some quick news. We've got about 30 seconds left. What drags Mitt Romney into this race?
Nothing.